Fergus MacKenzie sat on top of one of the hills surrounding Loch Shin in his dragon form and adjusted his grip with his talons. Despite waiting for the last hour to see the red-headed human female, she had yet to step outside. That shouldn't surprise him, given that it was January in the Scottish Highlands. The wind and chill in the north wasn't for the fragile. While everything he'd learned about Gina MacDonald over the last few weeks spoke of her strength, she was also heavily pregnant. For all he knew, she could be giving birth right that second. Fergus's inner dragon spoke up.
"Look, her door is opening. Maybe we can actually talk to her today."
Fergus watched as Gina stepped outside and headed for the chicken coop. The wind whipped her long, curly red hair behind her, and the human pulled her jacket closer around her body. His beast spoke up again.
"Today might be a last chance for a while. We should speak with her."
Fergus wanted to talk with the human more than he would ever admit to anyone. Not even his twin brother knew how Gina had invaded Fergus's dreams since the very first day he'd seen her. Dreams that more often than not had both of them naked and tangled in the sheets. Pushing away those thoughts, Fergus answered his dragon.
"We have no claim on her. I can't risk a confrontation with the father of her child."
His dragon huffed.
"We haven't been able to find out anything about him. If he's unwilling to protect his female, then he has no claim on her." "Not true. What if he's in the armed forces and currently stationed overseas?" "That is a very small possibility." "It could still be true."
Fergus debated returning to his home on Clan Lochgard when the female gripped her belly and hunched over. Without thinking, Fergus glided down to Gina's house. The sheep ran to the far side of one of the pens, and he landed. Imagining his wings shrinking into his back, his talons changing into fingers, and his snout taking the shape of a human face, Fergus stood in his human form 5 seconds later. Uncaring about his nakedness, he rushed over to the female and shouted, "Are you all right, lass?" The woman glanced over. Her eyes widened before quickly darting down to his cock and back up to his face. Taking a deep breath, she stood up and frowned. "You're the dragon who's been watching me for weeks." He took a step closer.
"That doesn't matter right now. If you need help, then tell me. I can ring a doctor or your husband."
"I don't have a husband." Gina rubbed her belly and then let out a sigh. "But the damn spell has passed, so care to tell me why you're standing in my yard buck naked?" Just like the first time he'd heard her speak, he found her American accent foreign yet endearing.
"Aren't you in labor?"
"No, I was trying to keep my food down. The smell of chicken scat makes me want to puke." His dragon chimed in.
"Get her inside. I don't like her out in the cold."
Fergus had asked the same question 1,000,000 times before, but decided to try once more.
"Why do you care so much?" "Just get her inside first."
Fergus motioned with a hand toward the door.
"Let's get you out of the cold. Give me a blanket or a towel so I can cover some of my nakedness, and I'll answer whatever questions you might have."
The corner of Gina's mouth ticked up. "Oh, really? Whatever I want. I can't wait to make the big, bad dragon man squirm." Ignoring her tease, he moved to her side and placed a hand on her lower back. Despite the layers of clothing between her skin and his, a small jolt shot up his arm. He couldn't remember the last time that had happened with a female.
"I assure you I don't squirm. Now let's get inside. It's bloody freezing out here."
Gina started walking and humor danced in her eyes. "Are you going to use that as an excuse for the size of your penis?" He blinked.
"What?"
"Well, just about every guy I've ever met says the cold makes him shrivel." She paused and leaned over. "But in your case, that makes me wonder just how big you are when it's warm." Fergus cleared his throat. He wasn't about to allow the lass to disarm him.
"The first time I met you, whilst in dragon form, you said you knew the dragon clan in Virginia back in America. I'm fairly confident the rumours about dragon shifters and their cocks are the same there as here."
"Maybe, but I like the idea of making you uncomfortable." He frowned.
"Care to tell me why?"
Gina laid a hand on her stomach. "It's fun. And believe me, it's been months since I've had any fun."